Hello, Aries, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? The point of these readings is to both bring forth the messages that I just mentioned, as well as implement my experience as a spiritual coach to help you move past your limiting beliefs in order to create the life of your dreams. If that does not sound like that is for you, then this probably isn't your reading. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages. I have the tarot deck that we'll be diving into already shuffled, as well as the decks that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, so do remember to take what resonates and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Aries, in your recent past, you have adjustments are required with the Six of Swords. Your recent past was a lot of feeling very stuck. I feel like you knew that you wanted changes to happen, but you weren't really quite sure how to bring those changes about. It's like you knew you needed to make adjustments, but you didn't know how, or you didn't know what adjustments to make. And I feel like you were kind of stuck in this energy for a while. It's like you couldn't move forward. You couldn't move past what you were experiencing into something new. I feel like that was kind of on purpose, though, because I do feel like whatever adjustments that you're needing to make, I feel like they're going to come like after you kind of get through this. It feels like a cycle or like a phase. I don't know yet. But in your current energy, you have your commitment is being tested with the Seven of Swords. And the reason I said it was like a cycle is because it's, the closer you get to the end of a cycle, the more uncertain you're going to be. The more you're going to feel like old lessons kind of arise and old experiences kind of come back to the surface. And the reason for that is because you then have to take what you've learned in the cycle and apply it to what you're going through so that you can break the cycle, which we'll see in your immediate future. But I do feel like right now you're kind of in the thick of that unknown. Like, again, it's like maybe certain changes kind of happened in your recent past that have led you to kind of where you're at now. And now you're just kind of in this unknown period. I don't like that word test because that kind of implies that you can fail this test and that you're going to end up, ruining your life forever, whatever the case is. Well, that's not the case. If you have to repeat cycles, then that just means that that's what you're supposed to do. But I do feel like there's a pretty big cycle here that's trying to end in your life. And I feel like it's almost like with your commitment is being tested card, like you're going through the test, if you will. Again, I don't love that word, but like the experiences and needing to make like different decisions than you made in the past to not repeat cycles. If that makes sense. Now, in your immediate future, you have a new romantic cycle begins with the Hierophant. If you're able to take what you've learned, if you've learned from your experiences and you've learned from what's kind of happened, then that whatever you've learned and the wisdom that you apply to your experience from what you've learned will create some sort of a new cycle here. Yes, this says romantic cycle. I want you to make sure that you're applying this reading to all different aspects of your life and possibly even other connections as well. It doesn't just have to be about a romantic situation. I feel like what's the point of what's coming through is like a new cycle will start if you end the current one, obviously. But like in order to earn in the current one, you have to use what you've learned to do so. So I do feel like this is a pretty positive reading. I also feel like this is going to be a very straightforward, truthful reading for you, Aries. So let's start by looking at your recent past. What was Aries dealing with in their recent past? Recent past for Aries, please. Recent past for Aries, please. This is for Aries' recent past. Adjustments are required with the Six of Swords in reverse. Wow. So yeah, things did kind of fall apart here. See, things kind of fell apart in your recent past. They either fell apart or they never came together. Like, it's like you tried and failed, or like, maybe that's what it was, like tried and failed in some way. Like either things fell apart or they never happened. And so now what's happening because of this is you're having a hard time trusting yourself again. I feel like that's It's usually a pretty big thing that happens when we go through experiences that do kind of hurt, or trauma that kind of arises from certain experiences, is we start to kind of doubt not just our faith in the universe, but we also start to doubt our own decision making, because on some level we understand that our decisions led us to what we went through, and then we fear that our decisions are going to lead us to like more painful situations in the future. So I feel like what you're kind of going through right now in your current energy, I know in your recent past, but in your current energy, is almost like building this like trust back up in yourself. Like, yes, you went through this experience that was very, very painful and possibly very frustrating too. But I feel like that experience, whether or not you realize it, it taught you a lot. And it's not that you need to doubt yourself, it's that you need to learn from it so that you don't repeat that cycle. So I do feel like ever since this happened, you've been having a hard time like trusting yourself, because there you are, Queen of Wands. Whether you're male or female, fire sign energy. All right, recent past for Aries, please. This is for Aries, recent past. King of Wands in reverse, King of Swords in reverse, Ace of Pentacles, Five of Swords. There's that World in reverse, Seven of Cups. Okay. Okay. So you have this King of Wands in reverse, which, yes, that could be alluding to you, but it's not what I feel with this. Because this King of Swords in reverse is also kind of your energy too. And so what I'm seeing is like this, whatever you went through, and we've kind of talked about this, but I'm going to talk about it further because this message is elaborating on it. It instilled a level of self-doubt in you. Well, actually, it didn't instill self-doubt necessarily. It brought certain self-doubt that already existed within you to the surface. And so, for instance, maybe if you tried at something and you failed, you now don't believe that you're possible, or you're capable of whatever it is that you're wanting to attract or do or create or manifest. And you don't believe that you're capable of that because you're looking at the experience that happened as a truth about your reality, right? Which we very much often do. 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. Only 5% of the way that we interact with our reality is conscious. And that 95% of us is built based on our experiences, right? We internalize our experiences as truths about our reality. If we've been through situations where we've experienced failure and loss and mistreatment, then we're going to start to internalize it as that's all that's possible and that's all that we're capable of. And so I feel like you went through certain situations in your past that you have now internalized as, like either that's as good as it's ever going to get for me, or my happiness exists behind me, or why would I even try again because I already failed. And it's actually keeping you from opportunities that align with who you really are. Now, oftentimes we have to go through these situations to bring these limiting beliefs to the surface so we can face them and heal them. So when we go through situations like you've been through in your recent past, Aries, you kind of have a choice in that matter. You have a choice to either allow that situation to dictate your future, or to rise above it, learn what you need to learn, accept the situation for what it is, and move forward to the situations that are truly meant for you. Obviously, I recommend that other route, but it's not always the easiest route to take. And so I feel like there's like this self-doubt that that has like really been controlling you since your recent past. Now, I know that this is your recent past, but it feels like it's less focused on what happened and it's more focused on like the purpose of it, because you know what your recent past was, right? You know what you've been through. You know what loss you experienced. You know how painful it was. You know why you've been stuck for a while, right? I think the purpose of this reading is how to get you unstuck. All right, recent past for Aries. This is for Aries, recent past, please. One more. This is for Aries, recent past. Recent past for Aries, please. Okay. Ever since this situation happened, yeah, there's the Seven of Swords, same as what we're dealing with right there. Ever since this situation happened, you've been feeling very unstable, very ungrounded. Like, I feel like ever since this happened, you've been trying to get like your feet back on the ground, like find your footing again. And I can tell you right now that, and I can feel it, like it's like, and I can feel what it's setting you up for, because this situation, it absolutely happened for a reason. Because this unknown, this Seven of Swords, because it's come out twice, it's like, it's almost like this unknown that you're in right now, it has to be embraced. It had to happen in order for you to complete this cycle. Because if you didn't embrace this unknown, if you didn't get put into this unknown, it's like you wouldn't have to face the fear and the limiting beliefs that you're currently facing through this unknown. So this unknown is actually creating an opportunity for you. You don't know what that is yet. So what this is really saying is, like, this past that you've been through, it absolutely happened for a reason. And like, you don't need to know what that reason is. You don't need to know exactly where it's leading you. You don't really need to know anything except for you are exactly where you are supposed to be right now. And I feel like there's this need to really lean on faith. So let's get some energy here for Aries, current energy, clarifying your commitment is being tested with the Seven of Swords. This current energy for Aries, please. One more. This current energy for Aries, please. For Aries, current energy. Fear. See? Yes. Okay. And there's a Ten of Wands, and there's the Three of Swords, and there's the Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay. This is a perfect message for what I was trying to explain. This fear, like, you see, it's like you're trying to climb a mountain with this dead weight on your back, and that dead weight is your fear. And this fear has kept you in self-sabotaging cycles. Not that like not self-sabotaging. It could be like in the really direct ways, like, you know, sabotaging yourself in ways that you're aware of, but also like subconscious sabotaging cycles. You know, when we believe that, when we don't believe that we're deserving of more than what we've accepted into our life, we're going to continue to accept the bare minimum. We're going to continue to accept situations that don't align with us, because that our fear is going to trick us into believing, hey, stay in this relationship that doesn't serve you because this is as good as it gets for you. This is the best you'll ever have. You know, you might be receiving the bare minimum, but at least you're receiving something. Your fear will talk you into staying in situations that that are, you know, okay or good enough, because those cycles that you're in and those situations are predictable. Your fear or your ego will try to keep you in fear because it knows exactly what that fear looks like, and it gives your ego a false sense of control. It makes you think that you know exactly like what's going to play out, you know exactly how that disappointment's going to feel, how that painful cycle is going to feel. And so your ego will do everything in its power to try to get you to repeat old cycles. And that is what you are going through right now, Aries. So, but it's also like you have to be facing this fear, because if not, it was going to continue to control you. And so you kind of are in like this, like, I don't want to say crossroads necessarily, but I feel like you're coming to the end of the cycle and your fear is very prominent, and you're needing to make sure that you do not allow your fear to dictate your movement, choices, and decisions. Try to look at your fear like a, what I called it in a recent reading, like an anxious dog or something. And like you just have to remind it, like, it's okay, everything's fine, you know, they're just fireworks, like everything's okay. Because your fear, although very valid, because it's you know, a product of your experience and you fear what you've experienced, it's not a truth. And if you believe it's a truth, it will continue to keep you from sabotaging. It will continue to keep you sabotaging the good things that could appear in your life. It'll keep you stuck in painful cycles. It'll keep you stuck in self-sabotaging cycles. And so right now you're facing that. And the closer, like I said at the beginning of the reading, the closer you get to the end of the cycle, the heavier that cycle gets, the more intense that cycle gets. Current energy for Aries, please. So you're needing to drop the dead weight of fear is basically what's going on here. You can't climb the mountain with all that weight on your back. Current energy for Aries. Strength in reverse, Two of Wands in reverse, Sun in reverse. Your lack of faith in yourself and in the universe has kept you out of alignment. And that's your ego controlling. So your ego is going to look at your environment and it's going to say, based on my experience, this is the safe route, right? And if you base all of your choices on your experience, what you're doing is you're closing yourself off to your potential. Because if you think that what you've experienced is the only thing that's possible, then you will continue to experience the same experiences you always have. You'll experience the same lessons, the same cycles, the same relationships, either in the same people or in different people. The same lessons will reappear. It really does keep you stuck in the same. And so there's this need right now for you to recognize, first and foremost, you're coming to the end of the cycle, and the fear that you're feeling, it's happening on purpose. So if you're feeling really overwhelmed or really fearful or really unsure, just know that you're in, first of all, it's happening. Oh gosh, a bug. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now, and you're experiencing exactly what you need to experience on kind of that level. But don't let the fear that you have that's arising in your situation right now be your decision making. If you have, so for instance, if you know you need to leave a job that is just draining you, that is absolutely draining your soul, that does not provide you with what it is that you deserve, but you stay with it because you need a paycheck, or you stay with it out of obligation, or you stay with it for whatever reason. Don't let your fear of not having what it is that you need keep you from walking away from things that don't serve you. Because the universe will always respond to you choosing yourself and open doors for you that wouldn't have existed if you didn't make those good decisions for yourself. But remember, when you do make those decisions for yourself, your fear is going to arise and try to sabotage those decisions for you. And so I do feel like I don't feel like it feels great, but you're in a really cool spot right now where you kind of have this option to kick this cycle's ass. Like, you really do. You have an option to be aware of it and to say, I'm not going to repeat old patterns or behaviors. I'm not going to let the unknown, control my decision making. I'm going to choose what I know is best for me. I'm going to choose what I know I'm capable of, what's possible, what aligns with my faith and my hopes and my dream life. I'm not going to choose situations that align with what I have experienced because I don't want to go back there. I don't want to have those same, lessons resurface. So you're in a really cool place right now, Aries. And I feel like if you can be aware of the fear that you're experiencing, then again, you can kind of kick this cycle's ass. All right, current energy for Aries. King of Pentacles in reverse, Eight of Swords, Six of Cups. Your past experiences have aligned with limiting beliefs. And those limiting beliefs have been keeping you from having the life that it is that you want and deserve. I talk a lot on my channel about not paying attention to your circumstances, because your circumstances, and it sounds quite a lot like delusion, but bear with me. Your circumstances are merely a product of your past thoughts and beliefs, right? Your thoughts become your beliefs, become your actions, become your reality. Now, I feel like that's a very triggering truth for a lot of people because, it can be like, well, this person treated me poorly, or this thing was out of my control, or this happened to me. And the truth of the matter is that everything really is happening for you, not to you. But it's hard to see that when you're in the middle of it. How it's happening for you, I don't know the answer to that. This is a general reading. But when we look at our circumstances and we say, this is as good as it can get for me, you're unhappy, you're unfulfilled, you don't have the financial situation you want, the relationship you want, the lifestyles that you want, whatever that it is. That you don't want those things, but you look at your life and you say, this is as good as it can get for me. And you settle, right? We all do it. We've all done it at some point in our life. And we settle for as good as we think it can get because we don't think it can get any better. Your past is what taught you that, right? Now, it can be the way that you grew up, limiting beliefs that were placed on you by your parents, by society, by your community, by our religion. Not that there's anything wrong with religion, but these limiting beliefs can be placed on you and can keep you from living that life that you truly desire and that's truly possible for you. And so try right now not to let your circumstances win. Your circumstances are a product of what you have thought in the past. Therefore, your immediate circumstances, your future, not necessarily immediate, but your future circumstances can be a product of the life that you choose to create. So you do have some power here, Aries. It might not feel like it, but you do have more power than you realize. But in order for you to break out of this cycle, you need to be aware of these limiting beliefs. These limiting beliefs are like the biggest thing coming through in this reading, because the unknown that you're in right now is bringing all of those limiting beliefs to the surface. And whether or not you choose to believe your limiting beliefs is going to determine what your future looks like, whether or not you're able to create this new cycle. Immediate future for Aries, clarifying a new romantic cycle begins with the Hierophant. Immediate future for Aries, clarifying a new romantic cycle begins, clarifying the Hierophant. This is for Aries' immediate future. Heck yeah, Aries. Your immediate future is all about stepping out of your comfort zone. It's all about starting to take chances and risks. It's really about like doing things differently, right? If you want to experience a different reality, you've got to move different. You got to choose different. And that's really where you're kind of in that space right now. And then your immediate future is about really taking into account what you've learned throughout past cycles, meaning like how past decisions have led to not so great outcomes and what you can do differently to lead to better outcomes. And like the cycle, as you complete it, right, you experience these limiting beliefs, you get aware of what these limiting beliefs are. Your immediate future is about recognizing those limiting beliefs and not choosing in alignment with them. And that's very out of your comfort zone. And that's probably going to be pretty triggering, because when you do take steps out of your comfort zone, when you do take steps towards what's best for you and what's meant for you, again, your fear is going to come up and it's going to do everything in its power to pull you back into your comfort zone. And in that moment, you get to decide, am I going to choose my fear or am I going to choose to lean on faith? Your fear is going to be very believable, right? It's very believable. It can be very manipulative. It can make you think that it's absolutely telling you the truth, when in reality, it is an illusion at best. And so I do feel like your immediate future is you're kind of becoming aware of these limiting beliefs, right? Your fear and your limiting beliefs are coming to the surface. You're starting to realize, wow, I don't think I'm deserving. I don't think I'm capable. I don't really have this faith in the universe. Become aware of those things first. And then once you're aware of them, your decisions can start to change, because you can look at a decision that you have to make and you can say, what would old Aries do? What would, past Aries do? Have I been faced with this decision before? And how did that decision lead me to whatever happened before? What can I do differently now to create a better experience for myself? So the more that you become aware of your fear and your limiting beliefs, the more that you can start to actively implement the new beliefs to then create a better reality. Immediate future for Aries. Ooh, look at this. Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the Chariot. Heck yeah. Oh, I love this for you. Okay. It's like you have this breakthrough. This Ace of Swords, which it feels like breaking out of the cycle, like having this breakthrough, like starting to choose differently, like starting to create better. It opens this opportunity. It really moves things forward for you and opens you up to opportunities that you wouldn't have had if you chose like you have in the past. So this is a lot about your decisions. But going deeper on that, like where your decisions stem from, what you limit yourself to, what you think is possible, what you think you're capable of, what you think you're deserving of, all of those things are really coming down to you seeing, how have I stayed in my comfort zone? How have I let my fear choose for me? And how can I choose differently? That's the beauty of this life, is that you always have the ability and the power to change your circumstances if you believe it. And that's really what's coming through here. Is it's almost like this breakthrough that really kind of like, but it's like you had to go through a breakdown to break through. But this breakthrough is like really kind of life-changing. Immediate future for Aries, please. Oh my gosh. It's like this breakthrough. It causes you to surrender, to let go. You know, surrendering to the universe, it's not giving up. It's giving up how you think things should go. And saying, I want, this is the life of my dreams. I want to feel loved. I want to feel supported. I want to feel appreciated. I want to feel valued. I want to feel respected. I want to feel successful. I want to feel abundant. I want to feel secure. Looking at your life and saying, that's what I want my life to look like, universe. Help me get there. And then giving the power of, taking your power back from your circumstances by kind of giving it over to the universe, giving it over to your faith. And that's what creates your 10 of Pentacles here. That's what creates this long-term abundance, this long-term fulfillment. You have to learn that the universe is working in your favor in order to surrender over to it, right? Any doubt that you have in yourself is equal doubt that you have in the universe. We are the universe in motion. And so I feel like your immediate future is pretty freaking cool. I don't necessarily know if changes are going to come like in your immediate future, but it does feel like your immediate future is setting you up for the changes. So focus on this inner breakthrough, focus on those limiting beliefs, focus on what fear is arising in your current energy, and notice how your fear and these limiting beliefs has affected your decision making, and then be very, careful. I don't know, I don't like that word. Like, don't, just be very aware in your future, in your immediate future, like starting today, about your decision making in relationships and life, in how your fear, like whether when you're faced with a decision, what option is in alignment with fear, what option is in alignment with faith, and then choose the route of faith. It will always get you to where you're trying to go. All right, Aries, thank you so much, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you. We're going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to clarify these messages, dive into some advice, and then I have an actual affirmation card to pull for you at the end. As always, Aries, I wish you absolutely nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. Bye, Aries.